this particular model and crisis team, remember, this is going to reduce the people who end up in Orleans Parish Prison. As Toya mentioned, overwhelmingly, the number of people who are currently in Orleans jail right now have been diagnosed with some type of mental health disorder and are being treated for it.
Welcome to the Tatyana Show, and I'm so excited to be back as always. And who I have today is a very special guest, Councilmember Jared Brossett. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Tatyana. Thank you for having me.
Oh yes, so we're here at the mental health event without calling the police. Tell us a little bit about that event.
Well, the Cahoots model is all about reimagining police strategy and response methods. It's about having a team of medical technicians and clinical type social workers, EMS, that is specialized, has specialized training to respond to cases of mental health, cases of substance abuse, and so forth. And that model has been proven throughout the country when you go out for calls of service, instead of sending the police that is equipped with weaponry, you send a trained social worker in the mental health field to de-escalate the situation. They have the proper credentials and training to do that.
So one of the things that, as for the citizens of New Orleans, what do the problem with calling the police bring a lot of times?
Well, the problem with
just for New Orleans.
Well, the problem with calling police, and I believe it's in other cities as well, is that you have a situation where an officer may not know how to respond accordingly to a mental health individual that may be experiencing some kind of episode, and you have a situation where the resources are not wasted, but the resources can be reallocated in a much better way if you have in New Orleans, Orleans Parish Communications District is where your 911 calls, for fire, EMS, and what you would do is you would embed one of those medical technicians, mental health workers into the centers to be on the receiving end of those calls of dispatch, and as well as going to the appropriate scene.
Is there a number that locals could get in a whip of calling instead of dialing 911 so instantly for situations like that?
Right, you could call 311.
Okay.
You could also call the 9 emergency police line, is 821-2222. But 311 is the main line. If you need assistance, we could connect people with Metropolitan Human Service District, which connects people with mental health agencies and just providers and mental health aid.
How severe is the mental health crisis in New Orleans, being a councilman?
I was once a former state legislator in Baton Rouge, and I focused on adolescent mental health care as well as adult mental health care, and unfortunately previous gubernatorial administrations they didn't see the priority in mental health, and that was one of the first things that would always get cut, be on the chopping block when there were budget problems. And so I passed a bill to help preserve and make it a priority to preserve mental health programs. and it is important because one year there was a fatal incident where NOPD officer Nicola Cotton had her weapon wrestled from her by a mental health patient individual that she was responding to at the scene, and she was fatally shot and killed.
Oh, wow.
And so a very unfortunate and sad incident. And so as we move forward as a city, we have to reimagine our response to mental health
And she was
cases.
911.
Mental health cases, and she responded to the scene as a police officer always does, to serve and protect.
Right. Do you believe with doing this event and pushing forward about mental health without calling 911, would this be better for our officers and also for the people that's going through the breakdown?
Yes, it would be better overall for the city. It would save the city as far as the budget, a cumulative millions of dollars, where that can be reinvested into programs that's focused on mental health and staffing with, EMTs, mental health technicians to respond to the scenes of these individual cases. So for the police officers, definitely, so they could respond to the more serious crimes that they're overall trained to do.
Right. But thank you so much for being here, and I hope you guys learned a lot, because I did. And is there any closing remarks that you'd like to tell the people about mental health and the importance of this, that people need to know?
Well, I would definitely say that it's important that you, in order to be 100% complete and 100% you have to take care of yourself. You have to be always tapping into what you know in your heart and in your mind to be what you think is good. Just because you may have going through something mentally or physically does not mean you're a bad person. But help is out there. Reach out, and there's always somebody willing to take your call. I am. Whether it's addiction, substance abuse, feel free. We can connect you with anyone throughout the city or the state.
Well, you guys heard it here on the Tatyana Show. Thank you so much for being here and taking the opportunity. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.